Hey, welcome to the podcast on a Wednesday. What's up, Al? I got the red light. I'm
Why
going.
can't I hear anything?
I don't know. You got me in there already?
Ah, there we are. Oh, yeah.
Right on.
So, Jerry, I want to talk to you today about podcasting. So, one of the original popular podcasts has retired. Marc Maron. Are you familiar with him at all?
I only know the name from you. I've never heard him. Don't know who he is. I just know you used to watch him.
Well, I would listen to him.
Okay.
He was one of the original podcasters that got popular. I actually did a little research today.
A little deep dive.
Because I was like, I hear so many different people saying like they were the original podcast or they were the ones who got podcasting started. So I always tried to figure like, to me, I remember Marc Maron, Adam Carolla,
Mm-hmm.
and Joe Rogan, of course. So I was like, okay, which of these guys came first? And surprisingly, they all showed up in 2009.
Oh, really? Same time. Wow.
Same time, 2009.
Again, it goes to show if you're first, man.
First was Adam Carolla, he was one of the guys that our then company hired to replace Howard Stern.
Yeah.
They gave David Lee Roth the East Coast. They gave a guy named Rover some of the Midwest cities because he was very popular in Cleveland. And then they gave Adam Carolla the West Coast and Phoenix.
Didn't he do it for a long time too?
He did not do it for all that long.
I thought he did. I know that obviously the David Lee Roth thing didn't last that long.
Yeah.
I thought Carolla did it for a few years.
You know what? Maybe, he had to have, because if that started in January of 2006 and Carolla started this in February of 2009. So he had to do 6, 7, 8. So yeah, you're right. I guess he did 3 years. And then he just started doing a podcast because I guess our company's probably still paying him because I'm sure we gave him a 10-year contract.
Which is a great way to start a podcast.
Yeah.
If you have money coming in.
So he started the podcast because of that. Marc Maron was doing there was a Air America. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah.
That was a radio network. It was like liberal political talk when the only political talk available really was like Rush Limbaugh was very conservative talk. So he had done that, and then that ended. So then he started doing a podcast. And then Joe Rogan, I think, started doing it, when there's a clip that goes around of him on Tom Green's television show where Tom Green is doing a TV show out of his house. And he's got Joe Rogan as a guest. And you could see the brain work.
The wheels turning?
Yeah, and Joe Rogan says to him, he goes, we got to figure out how to make money doing this.
Yeah.
With no corporate guys. But of course, now there's corporate guys. Spotify's involved, all these things. But the Marc Maron thing was interesting because he's a popular podcaster, but I wonder if the podcasting game was passing him by.
I guess. I mean, to me, was the money still coming in?
Yeah, well, that's my question because one, he didn't want to do video anymore. He didn't want to do video.
Right.
He just wanted to do audio. And
did he ever do video?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if that exists anymore. I think everything is on video now. He also was just talking to people he wanted to talk to. And I think for a lot of it, like I remember I would look depending on who his guest is.
Right.
And I would go sometimes 2 months without.
Right.
Putting
it didn't interest you. That's the thing with Rogan with me.
Yeah.
I look at a lot of I'm not interested in random comedians. I'm just not. So I don't listen to them. And if it's not a big guest, I'm kind of out on it.
Yeah. So I wonder how much that played a role. Like, were they looking at, because on these podcasts where you're dependent on the guest, I think that's a lot of pressure.
It is.
Like we do this podcast every day. There should be no reason why Mondays has a lot more listeners than Tuesdays or has less listeners than Wednesdays. There should be no reason for that. But when you do a podcast where you're basing your downloads based on who your guest is, I think that's a very difficult thing to keep up.
For sure. You did I know it was years ago, but you did the podcast with all the people that passed through here in this business. And you even got to a point where it was work trying to find who's the next guest.
Yeah.
And it is stressful. And you were doing it once a week. I think Rogan's 3 days a week?
Yeah, Rogan does like 3 days a week. Maron, I think, was doing once or twice a week.
Okay.
But yeah, he would have like so many times, like it'd be somebody who was in a movie, but he was like the fourth
Right.
leading person in the movie.
Yeah.
But he did find an interesting way to do things where the commercials didn't interrupt him, which I'd still like to know how he did that.
Maybe he had full control over it.
Maybe.
And he produced it or had a guy produce it.
But I wonder. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I
no,
interrupted
just
you there.
Like if we just if we pre-produced this ourselves, we're taking FAN out of the equation. The way you used to do it, I go to your place, you come to my place, whatever. We record a podcast, and I insert the commercials where we want them, and then I upload that to Spotify. Spotify doesn't do anything with it, right? They just play it.
I believe so. Yeah.
That would be the only way I think that you would be able to do it and play what you want to play where you want to play it.
Because Marc Maron, the way he does his podcast, and he put his last one out on Monday.
Okay.
He's done now.
Was that the Obama one?
Yeah, he did Obama for a second time, I believe. He does 10 minutes of just him talking.
Mm-hmm.
I always fast forward to that. Because for whatever reason, I don't find him interesting. I don't like his stand-up.
Okay.
But I like his interviews.
Okay.
So I would fast forward. So the commercials come, I think, in the very beginning, he plays a couple.
Okay.
Maybe. When the interview starts with the guest, there is never a commercial through the entire interview.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he can do that. But Joe Rogan, who should be calling all the shots, and all these other very popular podcasts, in the middle of answering an important question.
Yeah.
And it just goes to commercial.
Just breaks away. And then when it comes back, it's like it never left. Like they pick up in the middle of the word.
Right.
I know.
Like there's got to be a way for you to go, okay, I'm going to at least wait till this guy finishes his story and then I'll play the commercials. But I think that these podcast places, and maybe this one's probably doing the same thing too.
I think this one does.
But
matter of fact, I know it does.
I think they're just going, like, for Rogan, I look and it's almost like 8 minutes in, there's a, and they don't care what's going on. At the 8-minute and 20-second mark, they're hitting a commercial.
Right.
But you would think a powerful guy like that would be able to say to them, hey, wait till a full thought is finished.
Well, my question, I would agree with that. My question would be, is he getting any complaints about it? Because if he's not getting any complaints about it, I cannot, under any circumstances, imagine Joe Rogan is going back and listening to his 3-hour podcast to see what it sounds like.
Right.
And if no one's bugging him about it,
you would think someone somewhere along the line,
you would think,
says something to him.
And then we'll come back to this. If he releases a podcast and it gets 2 million views or downloads and 3 people complain, are you really going to put that much time and effort into changing it? Now, if 8,000 people complained, you got something. Get a handful of people out of 1 million.
And then you also notice with these long podcasts, like all of the commercials are in the front end because they know people don't finish them.
Right.
They just like the amount of people that finish probably a 3-hour Joe Rogan podcast.
It depends on the company you're using, the way they're sold, the way they're inserted. If I was going to do a podcast, and it's funny, my older son has asked me to maybe start one, and I would do it with him. What do I care? Why not? I would want to, if I was ever lucky enough to sell some ads live, the way I've told you, the way I will wanted to do like a rock radio / talk show, nothing taped, no breaking away. We're going to sit down and do this 1-hour podcast, and the ads we're going to do are going to be in the flow of the conversation, maybe in between topics, but we're not hitting you with a video, a thing, just going to be us. And I think that's a lot better than when it breaks away to this pre-taped thing. And then you see 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the screen, like, oh, this is a long commercial, and you're driving. You can't fast forward through like you can if you're walking, or, it's a little different.
Yeah. And I know Eddie puts the markers in for where to play the commercials.
Yeah, I don't think,
and it doesn't
it's not always right.
It's still, they do what they want.
Yes. I've heard enough times when I'm away with Rutgers or on vacation or whatever, I'll check in and I will listen. And there's a lot of times the breaks the commercials make no sense where they're placed.
Joe Rogan would be like, I have a guy who was a hostage here with me, and then tell me what happened. Well, the captors handcuffed me, Go to DraftKings now. Feed your dog the farmer's dog.
It's so true.
And then it comes back. And then I had a gun to my head. And I mean, they must assume we fast forward through the commercials, right? They have to know that.
I guess.
And at that point, then I don't know what the point of doing the commercials the way they do them is if they know we're fast forwarding.
I don't know. I don't know, especially if a company like you just mentioned the Farmer's Dog or a DraftKings, since you brought those two up, a lot of their ad placement, I do think, depends on continuing the relationship based on those promo codes. So if people are going to the companies, I guess that's good in and of itself. But if I've got a specific promo code for podcast ABCD and I never ever get a farmersdog.com/ABCDE, why am I going to continue to add, and yet people might hear it, but fast forward through it. I don't know. It's an interesting business, man.
It's so weird because like I can name all of his advertisers.
I'm sure you can.
Because as I'm fast forwarding through them, I am hearing.
You are hearing it. And that's where I said, even if you only hear the first 3 or 4 seconds, as long as you hear the company, it's working.
But I wonder if they're going to start developing the commercials so that they're almost like, they're being fast forwarded. And instead of like trying to get into details, just go Farmer's Dog for fresh dog food, Farmer's Dog for fresh dog food, Farmer's Dog.
No one ever complains about a 10-second commercial.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole red zone conversation we had before the season began. I've watched it enough now with my son. It is of no significance.
I agree with that
whatsoever.
And I was very anti-red zone.
And I understand. I get that too, especially when you bill yourself as commercial-free football for the next 8 hours. I'm with you. But it's nothing. It really, it's 12, the Buffalo Wild Wings commercials, or no, that Wings commercial, Wingstop that they do. It's like 12 seconds. The football's still being played on the side, but you do see it.
Yeah.
And you do think of it, and it does work. The same way I think you're right. I think you could do 10-second, really quick hitters. By the time people go to hit fast forward, it's over. You've heard the whole thing and you move on.
I have noticed a lot more 15-second commercials in podcasts.
It's smart.
Because when I would go to fast forward, the fast forward button on Spotify is 15 seconds.
Right.
And to go backwards is 15 seconds. So there's a lot of time where Rogan hits one, I hit 15-second forward and they're still in and they're back in the conversation.
Yeah.
So I know those are only 15 seconds. There's been a lot more of those. I also think it depends on where you are when you're listening to the podcast as to what type of commercials you get or what you get.
Okay.
I think that's all triggered by.
It might be. I don't know.
By the
keywords.
No, I think it's like triggered by, like, I think if you were to download the Joe Rogan podcast and then turn off put your phone in airplane mode,
mm-hmm.
I don't think you get any commercials.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's almost based on your usage of your phone and your browsing history.
Yeah, like where you are when it kicks in, like it knows where you are.
Yeah.
But if you're nowhere, because many times I've downloaded them for an airplane and I get no ads.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Then you should start listening to stuff on airplane mode.
I should.
Not a bad idea. Takes 2 seconds to go to airplane mode and switch it back.
Yeah. But then what if someone calls me? What if you're calling me to tell me there's a madman on the, when I get out of the Holland Tunnel, there's a madman with a hatchet. I won't get that information. I'll be hatcheted up.
And the chances of that happening?
Not great, but
not great.
Possible?
Anything's possible.
Sure.
You could do push-ups nude right now in front of me. It's possible. Ain't gonna happen though. Better chance of the hatchet man.
Do you consume a lot of podcasts?
No.
Nope. Do you think you'll ever get to the point where you will?
No.
Why do you think?
Well, I mean, time out. Let me rewind.
All right.
By the way, there is a chance that I'm going to have to get up and run to the bathroom, just so you know. I did my lemon blueberry drink.
Yeah.
And chugged about 12 ounces of water.
To pee?
Might not make it.
Okay.
Again, we got to back up. Are the shows on YouTube considered podcasts? If you're talking about playing podcasts through Spotify and audio only and listening in my car, no, I don't.
I just mean people that you consider a podcaster, and they're all on YouTube now, I believe.
I don't. I really don't. For a while, I was watching Rogan a lot. I haven't looked at his stuff in a long time. The Theo Vaughns, the Marc, all these guys, I'm just not interested. YouTube is what I consume if I'm not watching a game. So in that regard, sure. But no, traditional podcast and interviews, no.
But even if you're consuming it on YouTube, you're not watching an hour-long discussion.
So I usually watch YouTube. So I watch YouTube a lot here at work for press conferences and audio. At home, I watch YouTube between most games don't start till 7:30, some 7 o'clock, but I will watch YouTube between 6 o'clock hour. Um, yeah, it's probably not more than a half hour that I will watch, and I'll zip around. I like a nice 10-minute YouTube post.
Oh, yeah, I like that as well.
Knee deep into prostate posts right now, and a lot of Cowboy stuff. And like this week, because I'm working the Ohio State Wisconsin game this week, I've watched a lot of Ohio State stuff, which are podcasts, but that's for necessity. That's not because I'm interested to start doing that on a regular basis. I'm just not. I've become the old guy. I still listen to the radio. I still listen to, you know what I was doing this morning, which was interesting. McMonagle went to break early on in my ride in, and I'm fascinated by the as I've told you, the HD band on the radio. And I went to the HD2 on 92.3, which is the old K Rock, and then a song came on that I didn't know. I'm like, oh, let's just see what else is on the HD band. There's a lot of stations out there, and I found myself just listening to like local radio that I've never heard before. But I'm still a radio guy. I still watch the games at night. I still watch TV. I'm not like my younger kids who are all on their phone or watching YouTube nonstop. I am what I am.
You're an old school kind of guy.
I still listen to BT and Sal driving home.
It's funny. I did hear a clip of Obama on with Marc Maron in the final one, and Obama was in this clip. He was talking about kind of being that old guy, and with podcasts and TikTok, and he's like, "Well, I'm not supposed to be the TikTok guy. Like I'm whatever age Obama is." I think about that too. Like TikTok to me is where I finally drew the line.
Yeah, I did too.
Like I was not going to get on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Gio will send me TikTok clips or Izzo, and I'm like, I'm not clicking on this. I don't watch this.
I'm not interested.
I had to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, we did the Twitter thing back in 2010, and I think rightly so for the job. It turned out to be what you have to do.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in TikTok. I am semi-interested in Instagram. Yet if you go and look, I don't think I've logged into Instagram now in 60 days.
Yeah.
I just don't even think to do it. And like I've told you, Facebook, I haven't logged in since my team left Myrtle Beach in I don't know what year that was, 2023, 3 years ago, something. Just not interested. And I haven't, it's funny because I go to delete the account, but then I'm like, yeah, you never know if you need it for something. So I just leave it inactive. But yeah, it's just, I don't want to be that person that is staring at my phone. Even like yesterday, I went to the barbershop, Prime Barbershop in Middletown, great place. And I get there, I'm always early. I get there 5-6 minutes early, and there's like 5 guys waiting, and every one of them from 13 years old to 63 years old, their heads are just buried in their phones. And again, I always talk about the old school magazines and newspapers. I wouldn't think anything of it if 5 guys are reading in a barbershop. There's just something about my guys, head up. Like the world is going on, and they wouldn't even know if a car was about to crash through the window because they're comatose with these goddamn phones. And I don't want to be that guy. But I also know you got to evolve a little bit too. There's a balance.
There's a balance.
And
I think that maybe was part of the point of their conversation. I heard it out of context in a very short clip. Was almost like, you've got to be up on things, and maybe Marc Maron is not interested in keeping up with things anymore.
Well, that could be. And is he coming from a position of need? Does he need the paycheck?
No.
To me, again, this is a two-way conversation, a two-part conversation. There is, he doesn't want to, he just can't be bothered with this anymore. He's going to walk away. Okay, but he's probably got enough money to do that.
Yes.
It's everybody. I love when people, we can go back to the COVID days, the rich people that didn't take the shot and made fun of all the people that did because if they didn't, they would have been out of work with no work to be found and still having to pay a mortgage and all sorts of bills. It's all, you can be all high and mighty in your palace with 8 zeros in your bank account when the rest of society is still grinding away trying to figure out, when they probably took pay cuts like we did, how are you making all your bills every month? I hate when people do that. They speak like they're one of you. F you, you're not one of us. And that's fine, but just shut up. Like, don't act like that. So, and I'm not saying Marc Maron did, but this notion that he might walk away, he probably can.
Yeah, no, I think he did it for 16 years.
Yeah.
He can walk away from it,
which is great. Good for him.
He doesn't want to do video, which he knows now.
Sure.
That's what you have to do.
That's his TikTok.
That's his TikTok, right? I'm not doing video.
Good for him.
They're probably getting on him, the advertisers or whoever runs that, going, nah, you're putting these people on.
Sure.
Oh, when you had Obama on, that was great. We had so many views. When you put Bruce Springsteen on, that was awesome.
Right.
Yeah, more of that. I'm sorry, those guys don't exist every week.
It's not easy.
It is not easy.
It's a lot of work, and you got to work for it. I'm not saying you should shy away from the hard work, but if you're coming from a position where you don't need to do it, and maybe you're burnt out too.
Yeah.
16 years of interviewing. It's a lot of interviewing.
Yeah. Maybe he's done talking to people. And
I don't know the answer to this. Maybe you would. I would think he probably has some sort of residuals the more people continue to listen to. Like, I still watch stuff like, whether it's the prostate stuff, whether it's Rogan, whoever you're watching. Sometimes I'll be watching a video and I'll see it was posted 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, so is that dude getting paid, or does that just add on to what they get as it's still active? And
I think it's still
being
active
viewed.
Commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. So he might also be coming from a spot where he's still being paid to do what he's done.
And he still does his stand-up. His career is his stand-up. So he's still getting it. It's funny. I still get people telling me, I still listen to the podcast you did with Paul.
I believe that.
I probably did that for 5 years.
Yeah.
Total, tops, maybe less. And it's funny because people are like, oh, you should do that again. Oh, blah, blah, blah. If it was kept going, it'd have been burned out. You know,
it ran its course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny that, like, if you end something, probably at the time it should end, or maybe a little bit early,
premature,
it's looked at in such a better light.
Sure.
Than if you did something for many more years.
Plus the whole jump the shark thing.
Yeah.
At what point is it, all right, now you're just doing it for a paycheck? A lot of people think Friends hit that point like a couple of years, like they ended a couple of years too late. I think other people wanted Seinfeld to continue, and he wound up, I think, stopping when they were at the top.
Yeah, they were still at the top.
They always say you want to go out on top. You want John Elway, 2 Super Bowls, see ya. I think Peyton Manning too. Didn't he win a Super Bowl his last year? His arm was the heck of a way to go out. Not everybody can do it though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just interesting. So see you to Marc Maron, Jerry.
Yes, see ya.
Peace out. That'll leave an opening for us to take over the world.
That would be good.
Yep. So yeah, I'm going to do a little more podcast history today when I go home and do some research, Jerry.
All right.
I want to see what goes on, because you had Corolla, Marc Maron, Joe Rogan in 2009. I do remember this though. In 2005, Ricky Gervais, who
the comedian,
and he created The Office.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he created that show.
He created The Office.
Never knew that.
The England, and then sold it to the American version. So he was doing a thing which was a podcast, but it wasn't called that then. It was like he was selling audio. It was almost like an audio show,
right?
That he did with his 2 friends. They had originally had a radio show in the UK many years ago, and he was doing this. And I remember I bought them on iTunes and they were in like the audiobook section.
Yeah, sure.
But it was not a book.
They probably didn't know what to do with it.
They didn't know what to do with it. And that was like an early on podcast.
Maybe
for sure.
Ricky Gervais is really the first podcaster.
Well, then I was reading that Adam Curry, the former MTV VJ.
Well, that was the music thing though, wasn't?
No, but he was doing a podcast in 2004. Joe Rogan credits him as the original podcaster.
Got it.
In 2004. But who was listening to it?
Me. Not me.
I think 2009, when those 3 dudes, that's when it like kicked in.
And really the last like 2 years, the YouTube thing has just exploded beyond it. It's ridiculous. Everybody, their brother, mom, and sister is on YouTube now.
Yes.
It is pretty crazy.
All right, Jerry, you made it. You can run and pee
I gotta
now.
go.
See ya!